I was just in a McDonald's to get iced tea, which is what I always get at McDonald's. I don't ever, I hardly ever get anything else, but I do really like their iced tea and free refills and all that. But I wanted to report my experience. I first went to I took a right at the door and went into the the part of the restaurant that's slightly more secluded. Not that much more secluded, but it's like the tables that are near where the restroom is. Because I was on my way to the restroom for a moment, and while I was passing through this section of the McDonald's, I overheard what it sounded like two what I gathered to be executives, and they were talking to somebody who I gathered to be an employee. And the executives were saying that these were all men, both the executives and the employee. Three of them, two executives, one employee. It was a 2-on-1. And one of the guys was saying, one of the authoritative executives was saying, so either two things are possible. Either you took her home, and you didn't do the things that she said you did to her, or you didn't take her home and you didn't do the things that she says you did to her. And he said something like, well, yeah, he answered affirmative to one of those two scenarios. And then they, like, something about the way they carried on from there suggested to me that wasn't good enough, like, for them, that just wasn't good enough. Like, she still says you did those things to her, whatever they were, and yeah. So I was in the restroom for a moment. I came out. I opened the door. You know, the times when you're going to when you open a door and somebody's on the other side of the door. You know, like they're opening the door on their side just at the same time that they're either pushing it open at the same time you're pulling it open, or vice versa with a push-pull thing. Well, who should be on the other side of the door but the guy who was getting worked over by the executives for his inappropriate behavior with what I assume to be a female worker, you know, female fellow worker, co-worker. And I didn't really look him hard in the face, but he didn't look happy. He kind of looked, he had a harried look on his face. But we passed each other, so I walked back through that section of the McDonald's, and I overheard one of the two guys say inappropriate talking to a coworker. And that was it. Inappropriate talking to a coworker. I had a lot of questions about what had transpired, about what had gone down. I kind of wanted to be I wish I could have hung around and been a fly on the wall, but I would have been very conspicuous if I had just stood there. So I couldn't do that. That was not an option. But it's a reminder. I mean, and I don't know what really happened. But it's a reminder that it seems like a reminder that allegations are just take a life of their own, and you can be, I don't know if this guy, I don't know what this guy was being accused of. It seemed like what they came up with was inappropriate talking in the workplace, which is, that's quite a step down from what might have been being alleged. But I mean, the fact that they gave him, they said, okay, well, either you didn't take her home and you didn't do these things to her that she says, or you did take her home, but you didn't do these things that she said. She says, like they were saying, okay, you've got one of those two stories, and he said one of the two, and their response to that was that wasn't good enough somehow. I don't know. Things are just messed up right now. Things are messed up between the sexes. And it was jarring to experience someone potentially getting Me Too'd, who is a nobody, I mean, I don't mean a real nobody. I'm not saying I think of him as a nobody, but by society's standards, he's not an actor. He's not he's nobody. He's not anybody famous. But the look on his face when we saw each other for a moment just made me feel for him. So I don't know. I just wanted to report that to y'all.